The fastest growing county in America right now is a stretch of pine woods and marsh in the South Carolina Lowcountry that most Americans couldn't find on a map. Everyone says the millionaires are fleeing to Florida and Texas, and they're right. It's also only half the story. South Carolina just took in more than 5,000 wealthy households in a single year, fourth most in the nation, most of them out of New York and New Jersey. And that money is skipping Charleston and Hilton Head entirely, disappearing into the small towns around them, including one tiny island that banned the entire vacation rental industry and became the most expensive market in the region anyway. Stick with me and subscribe, because these are the 10 small South Carolina towns the money found first. Number 10 is Travelers Rest. Cyclists roll up the Swamp Rabbit Trail past breweries and coffee shops, with Paris Mountain standing over Main Street. A generation ago, this was the place where mill workers from Greenville stopped to rest their mules before the climb into the Blue Ridge. Today, the median home here sells for around $520,000, and that number jumped almost 23% in a single year, the biggest verified leap of any town on this list. What did it? A bike path. The trail turned to pass through town into the Upstate's most wanted address, and market reports now credit it directly with pulling in retirees from the Northeast and professionals from Charlotte and Atlanta. New townhomes are going up with front doors that open right onto the trail. 15 minutes up the mountain, Gated Cliffs communities put $2 million homes within a short drive of the taco shops. The town where Greenville once rested is now pricing out Greenville itself. Number 9 is Fort Mill. Brick storefronts and church steeples sit just across the state line from the Charlotte skyline, and that skyline is exactly the point. Charlotte is the second biggest banking center in America, and the region takes in more than 150 new residents every single day. A lot of the money behind those towers sleeps in South Carolina, where the average sale in Fort Mill now runs around $525,000. But the detail that tells you what's really happening came from the county council. Every new house built in the Fort Mill School District now pays an impact fee of nearly $30,000. Not property tax, a one-time toll charged at the door, roughly 6 times the state average, and among the highest in the nation. The schools are that full, with 5,000 more students projected in 10 years. When a town starts charging $30,000 just for permission to build, the quiet migration isn't quiet anymore. So yeah, the secret's out. Number 8 is Aiken. Horses walk down unpaved streets in the middle of town, past Hitchcock Woods, the largest urban forest in the country. 100 years ago, the Vanderbilts and Whitneys wintered here, in an era locals still call the Winter Colony. What's happening now is a rerun. Equestrian families are selling farms in Wellington, Florida, where a serious setup costs multiple millions, and buying triple the land in Aiken, where equestrian properties average under $1 million. The town has polo grounds dating back to the 1880s, 6 polo clubs, and around 40 polo fields. One Winter Colony estate on Whiskey Road recently changed hands for nearly $2 million, and a single boutique brokerage moved over $16 million in horse farms in 1 year. Meanwhile, the median sale in town jumped about 14% in a single year. The trains that once brought the Astors south have been replaced by horse trailers with Palm Beach plates. Number 7 is Landrum. A tiny brick main street sits under the wall of the Blue Ridge, surrounded by white fences and pasture. In town, a normal house costs around $340,000. Ride 10 minutes out and the math changes completely. Equestrian properties around Landrum now average $1.7 million, better than $90,000 an acre, 5 times the price of the town they surround. The engine is the Tryon International Equestrian Center, just over the ridge, which hosted the World Equestrian Games and turned these foothills into year-round horse country. Above town, The gated cliffs at glassy community stacks mountain homes with 100-mile views. Two entirely different markets now share one small zip code, and the people who board the horses can't afford the farms they work on. Landrum looks like it hasn't changed in 50 years, and that's precisely what the money's paying for. Before the next town, one number explains why all of this is happening at once. South Carolina taxes an owner-occupied home at one of the lowest effective rates in the country, around half of 1%. New Jersey runs roughly 4 times that, and New York and Connecticut are not far behind. On a $1.5 million house, that's the difference between $30,000 a year in property taxes up north and a fraction of it here. Add no estate tax and no inheritance tax, and for a 7-figure retiree from the Northeast, the move practically pays for itself. Which brings us back to the coast, where the smartest money on this list is making its strangest bet. Number 6 is Georgetown. Shrimp boats tie up along the harbor walk, under a clock tower that has watched Front Street since the 1800s. On paper, this is the cheapest waterfront town on this list, with a median sale around $325,000, and prices actually down a few points this year. But here's the detail almost everyone missed. A New Jersey developer is buying both of the shuttered mills, the steel plant and the paper plant, the 2 industrial giants that walled off the waterfront of the 3rd oldest city in South Carolina. 17 firms answered the county's call to redevelop the port. And out in the river, a dredge has been pulling up over 500,000 cubic yards of silt to reopen the channel to the harbor walk. Historic district homes already list around $1 million. Prices are flat, while 9 figures of redevelopment paperwork moves through the county. In every other town on this list, the money showed up before you did. In Georgetown, it's still in the driveway. Number 5 is Pawleys Island. Weathered cottages stand on stilts between the creek and the ocean. Rope hammocks swing on the porches, and the town's actual official motto is arrogantly shabby. Families have handed these cottages down for generations and let the salt do the decorating. That shabby is now some of the priciest sand in the state. In one recent stretch, half the homes that sold here went for around $2 million, driven by 7-figure beach houses changing hands one after another. Next door, the gated de Bordeaux colony averages over $2 million per listing, with oceanfront estates asking $6.5 million. The buyers are coming out of Charlotte and out of Ohio, and they're buying cottages that survived Hurricane Hugo with cash. The old families joke that the motto needs an update. Arrogantly shabby, $2 million. If this is showing you a South Carolina you didn't know existed, take 1 second and hit subscribe, because there's a lot more of this state to uncover. And stay to the end, because the island at number 1 breaks every rule the rest of this list plays by. First, the gated community that outsold entire counties. Number 4 is Bluffton. Live oaks hang over Old Town, past the Church of the Cross and the shrimp docks on the May River. In 2010, about 12,000 people lived here. Today it's over 40,000. One of the fastest growth stories in the American South. But the real engine hides behind a gate on 20,000 acres. Palmetto Bluff, the largest single tract on the East Coast, sold in what was reported as the biggest real estate transaction in South Carolina history. Last year alone, it closed $322 million in sales, with the average resale home at nearly $3 million. And the number that should stop you is this one. Fewer than 5% of the private homes there ever come up for sale. The wealthy aren't flipping Bluffton, they're keeping it. Out on the highway, the traffic backs up past the gates because the shrimping village at the center of all this still has mostly one road in. Number 3 is Ocatee. The Ocatee River bends through marsh grass past the gates of Berkeley Hall and Oldfield. Golf communities with deep water docks and homes that run from 400,000 to 5 million. This is Jasper County, the county from the top of this video, and most people have never heard about this part. The Census Bureau says it grew 6% in a single year, faster than anywhere else in America, and it leads the nation in housing growth. The county approved 16,000 new homes in 1 year. Think about what that means. The county seat, Ridgeland, has about 4,000 residents. That's 4 new houses approved for every man, woman, and child in town. The buyers are arriving from New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, sliding in behind Hilton Head, where oceanfront money already tops out. Hardeeville, the sleepy crossroads nearby, has more than doubled since 2020. Around here, the typical Ocady home is already worth over $900,000. Nobody was watching Jasper County. The money was. Number 2 is McClellanville. Shrimp boats rest against the docks on Jeremy Creek, under live oaks, older than the country, in a fishing village of about 600 people. For a century, this town worked the water. The shrimp came in, the crab came in, and the village stayed exactly what it was. Then Charleston money started driving 40 minutes up Highway 17, looking for deepwater docks, and waterfront listings here now run past $2 million, over $1,200 a square foot. And this is the part that still doesn't sit right with people here. The crab factory on the waterfront, one of the last working plants in town, was demolished to make room for home lots with a view. The workers had been laid off the year before. The children of shrimping families now watch the water their parents worked get priced like a Manhattan address. You'd think somebody would have stopped it. Nobody did. The shrimp dock is gone, and what replaced it is the most honest picture of this entire video. Number 1 is Sullivan's Island. A lighthouse shaped like nothing else in America stands over a town with 1 commercial street, 1 grocery store, no hotels, and no condos. Back in 2002, this island made a decision that every beach town in the country said was suicide. It banned short-term rentals entirely, the only municipality in South Carolina to do it. No vacation rentals under 30 days, period. The island chose neighbors over rental checks, and then it won. The average home here is now worth over $4 million, the most expensive market in the entire Charleston region, and in a single recent year, 2 homes on Atlantic Avenue sold for more than $13 million each, in a town of fewer than 1,000 homes. There's even a stranger twist. The beach here keeps growing, about 17 feet a year, and the new land belongs to the town under a protected easement. A maritime forest's grown up on it, so some owners of so-called beachfront mansions have gone to court for the right to see the ocean they paid millions for. The town that refused the money machine became the one place the money wanted most. That's the whole story of South Carolina right now, in one island. So forget the question of whether the money is coming to South Carolina. It's already here buying the towns everybody drives past. The real question's which town on this list your town becomes, the one that cashed the check or the one that kept the gate. Tell me in the comments which of these 10 you'd actually live in and which one hurt to watch change. And if you want to keep finding the stories behind where the money actually moves, subscribe and stick with me because South Carolina isn't done surprising you.